Hey everyone, it's Christine. Welcome back to my channel. I really wanted to do a tarot oracle reading on self-care, in particular how self-care can help you support, nurture, and cultivate greater creative intelligence and intuition for your soul journey ahead, especially during these times. I want to remind you that my readings are timeless. Whenever you find them, there is always a nugget in there for you. We are going to start. I'm using 3 oracle decks and tarot, and I want to make these relatively quick. I always say that and they end up being long, but we're going to see, okay? So tune in, timestamps to follow. We're going to start. Come join me. Hey, my Aries, welcome to your self-care oracle for this month to see how you can best support your creative intelligence and intuition. I'm going to pull a tarot card and see what you need to know and how you can best nurture this. I'm just pulling cards. Right now I pulled a tarot card and then I have oracle. And I'm picking. I don't see them, but I'm trying to make this quick because I don't want to be here all day or keep you guys waiting. Okay, so we've got cool decks. Wow. 10 of Cups. Holy smokes. Aries, I did a weekly reading for you in the last live stream that I did, November 8th. You may want to take a look at that because you got to focus on relationships. Relationships are coming through. Something about here, connection. I feel like right now, when you find this, connection is really important with yourself and also balancing that with others. I feel like many of you are reawakening to how you can find balance in both areas of your life, protect your time and energy, and also enjoy the time and energy that you spend with others. I feel a strong emphasis on connection, perhaps because of the Scorpionic energy at the time of this filming. Greater sense of wanting to deepen your ties, really connect and align with people that get you and that you just feel like these are your people. Or even if you are looking to expand your circle, you're wanting to meet like-minded souls. So there's a focus here overall on connection, community, perhaps bridging with others, because we see a lot of contentment here. 10 of Cups is beautiful. It speaks to all different types of relationships, and I'm going to keep it general. So if you're looking to date or wanting to enhance or take your relationship that's already established with your partner or your spouse up to the next level, that could speak to you. The same with family relationships and existing ones. But some of you, you're being called again. Find balance between yourself and relationships, and also start looking at your community and how you can perhaps prioritize this in a way that makes you feel good. Because I feel like you're going to get a lot of creative ideas, intuitive nudges, also validations and confirmations. Not that other people have to validate you. When I say that, you may be thinking, wow, should I pursue maybe this gallery to present my art? And you hear someone else mention a gallery and they're like, yeah, they're wanting to host artists, and you're like, bingo. It's that type of validation. It's validation for you. So I feel like you're going to get a lot of this through the people, through your community, through your social systems at this time. We have 37, which reduces to a 10. Again, you may be seeing 10s or 10-10s. Mourn. Grieving can be overwhelming but necessary. We are cleansed by letting our feelings wash through us. Only then can we move past the pain. So at this time, there may be a letting go happening. And I feel like, again, when you are trying to open up that channel to your intuition and trying to harness and receive messages, there could be some blockages. Think of them as if you're driving with a GPS on a road trip and you encounter in your GPS, sometimes you'll see sometimes you'll see that noted with red lines or cones or some type of signal that lets you know, hey, there's some type of traffic obstruction, maybe construction or crash or accident or whatnot. That's what I'm feeling here. Some of you may be working or processing through some grief, pain in relation to others, especially since we got 10 of Cups, but also in general. And so once that energy is fluid, it'll allow that channel, in particular your crown chakra and higher, because we have additional chakras, many more, allow those downloads to come in more fluidly. Also, being with people can allow you to mourn and to release. You know, there's a time with mourning, whole nother video, but I'll say for my Aries, there's a time where we need that space for ourselves. We need to hold ourselves in a blanket, in a cocoon, in a burrito. And I say that very seriously. when we grieve, there are times when we just have to be by ourselves with ourselves to process, to think, to reflect, and just cry it out. And then there's other times when we're ready, like, you know what, I'm going to peek out into the world, and maybe I will start asking for some support, or I will find that support simply by engaging in things that I used to do, or starting to go out, maybe coffee dates, or with friends, or with whatnot. It doesn't matter. So I feel like the people around you can help facilitate this and help release and move those energy blockages out of you. It's simply emotional processing. It could also mean talking to a therapist, a counselor, a coach, or someone that you simply trust, a trusted friend, a trusted family member at this time. Because sometimes when we feel stuck, when we feel like we're not making progress, or we're not receiving intuitive downloads, and we're like, hey, I've been asking for help and nothing's coming through. Sometimes we just need to let it out. This is akin to a brain dump, but I'm getting a lot of communication coming, and also sharing and releasing of emotions, because 10 of Cups, and you got the Mourn card, a lot of emotional processing happening. We got 7. Again, 7 speaks to relationships. Burning bowl ritual. A lot about release for you guys. Aries, what's going on here? There's relationship energy here coming through that I feel may be blocking some of your creative energy, your intuitive downloads. So some of you may be focused on releasing, certain relationships from your life. This is often a ritual that I use during full moons, especially, and on Saturdays, since Saturn rules over Saturdays. This is something you may want to use as well. Fire is alchemical. I was going to say alchemizing, but fire is another way to release, because it transforms. Your emotions go on paper, right? If you write a letter, releasing or pouring everything out, you burn that paper becomes ashes. You can blow those ashes out onto the earth integrates, or rather the ashes integrate into the earth, and it's a life cycle, because that energy just gets transmuted. So there's something here again about shifting your energy and shifting those emotions, so processing them, getting them out at this time. Finally, we have surrender. Holy shit. I feel like we have a story here, my Aries. There's a lot of letting go here. Some of you are closing big chapters, and I feel like this week you may be connecting to that emotion, to that place, to that person, to that thing that's going to allow you to finally close that door. And then there's a lot of water energy here, and we got fire. So there could be a burst of emotion, an explosion of emotion, where you just cry it out, but you finally let it all out and you let it go. These whale songs, whale voices, the songs they sing, they are really, really healing on a very earthly, practical level. But also when you hear the frequency, they connect to one another, because whales travel in community. So again, some of you are going to find a lot of ease, a lot of healing through your community, through the people that you can lean on and support. And some of you are being called, if you've maybe isolated yourself, it's time to get back into your community, because that's going to help you connect back to your creative intelligence, to your life force energy, more importantly, to your psychic and intuitive skills. Some of you right now, you may be feeling blocked precisely because of what you're still processing and letting go, which is okay. Because your intuitive nudges, they're not going anywhere. It's almost like when you download something and you just keep getting download after download, they're just waiting to open. It's like that. My Aries, I hope this reading has helped. I am wishing you the best. Thank you. My Tauruses, welcome to your reading. We are going to tap into what self-care you can utilize at this time to help you expand, tap into your creative intelligence and intuitive and psychic gifts. So I've shuffled the cards, and I'm going to pick quickly from tarot and 3 decks. No shuffling. I shuffled them before, by the way. So when I say no shuffling, I mean right now, because I'm trying to make this quick and save time. Okay, your first card, we got the High Priestess. Wow. Tauruses, your intuition is coming through. So this is about trusting yourself. This is also about taking care of yourself and really nourishing yourself on so many levels. I always say multidimensional, because self-care, wellness is very multidimensional. It's not just the aesthetic. It's not just the external body or the physical body. It's also mind, soul, mental, different other aspects of your life. It could be financial too. It could be your social connections. We've got different forms of self-care, but you're being guided during this time to really connect to your intuition and psychic gifts. More importantly, your creative intelligence by taking care of yourself. Think about what you've neglected. And I don't say that with any judgment. Like, what haven't you done that you've been wanting to do? Maybe you want to do more workouts or eat better or drink more water or take time for rest, like actual rest, not just resting while you're on the computer and watching Netflix, like rest where you may just be listening to music or just staring out of the window and allowing your mind, to flow. I feel like I'm getting the energy here where you guys have compressed a lot, have been dealing with a lot, almost as if you were a waiter or a waitress and you're juggling a bunch of dishes. You have to put a dish down and invite that opportunity for self-care into that space. So this is going to be a time for you to get those downloads, to get those intuitive and creative messages by taking care of yourself. You will know it's going to be the highest form of honor for yourself. Some of you, I'm sensing there's a lot of rest and sleep that's happening because I sense a little bit of mental agitation. For others, it's care of the physical body. Those are the two primary ones that are coming out at me right now. We have the moon too right on top. So again, High Priestess indicates really connecting to your emotions and to yourself. This is going to be key during this time. Some of you may be trying to overthink or think things through, intellectualize or analyze, and that's not going to be the way that you are going to receive this creative downloads. Creativity comes from our intuition. The logical analytical part helps us put things into a more practical game plan. And so tap into the body. There's an embodiment aspect here. We have 39, which reduces to a 12, which reduces to a 3. Return to center. Chaotic events do not benefit from panicked reactions. The situation may not need a response from you. Stay calm and centered in your heart. I feel like this is the sibling of the High Priestess. So again, I mentioned there could have been, I feel again like mental agitation. There could be internal chaos. You may be dealing or holding in something you may want to communicate or say, or there may just be a lot of things going on in your life where you know things are going to be, you have to make a decision about. But this is about grounding yourself. Again, through rest. It could be through mindfulness, meditation, taking care of yourself. There are many ways. Through the foods you eat, also the actions you take. Some of you may or are being called to explore your pastimes. Reading for some of you. It could be journaling for others. There's a dragon here, and this looks like a phoenix, if I'm not mistaken. I'll put it up here. I was going to say a heron, a swan-like bird, but I don't think it is. It looks like a phoenix with a tail, but we have a dragon. It looks like a serpent. It's a number 8 too. So again, this is really teaching you about the continuity of life, how things are cycles, how things continue going. The way when things are chaotic, you go back to non-being chaotic. And the way to do that is to go within yourself through finding your center. And when people say that, it's about finding a way to stabilize yourself. Imagine if you're a pendulum. What can you do to keep yourself still in that moment, connected to the now? Breath work is wonderful because I feel like there's internal transformation happening here at this moment. With many of the Tauruses I'm connecting to, a lot of internal shifts happening, changes, fast, energetic. No matter, the main message that I'm getting here is to stay connected to what you feel is true for you and what feels good to you. How else can you nurture your creative intelligence at this moment? We have number 2, alone time. Again, you see the High Priestess, she doesn't have a crowd with her. Some of you need to disconnect from everything as much as you can and make time for yourself, even if it's just a small amount. Maybe it's a quick shower, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or going to the bathroom, or taking, a short break to take a quick walk outside to the mailbox, whatever it is. We got water. a lot of like blue water elements. So there's something about communication coming through. I feel like communication, there's a communication you need to have with yourself, almost like, okay, we need to figure out what decisions we need to make, because there's something here that's heavy on you. Again, I got mental agitation. So there's something coming through about communication with others or with someone that you have to make, and it's weighing. So I feel like this alone time is going to allow you to gather your thoughts. Also release them. Some of you haven't connected to yourself. You've been connecting to other people, perhaps other energies. Tauruses that are connecting to this, many of you are sponges. So you may identify as empath. You have a high degree of being empathic. And I feel like you have been taking in so much from your environment, from people around you, that you just feel you're internally chaotic. And so you need to cleanse that out. The final card you got was sovereignty. This looks like Athena, the Greek goddess. Artemis too. Reclaiming your sovereignty. Again, to me, I get energy. Some of you are taking on, or people have tried to take from you, elements of, I'll just say, your time and your energy. Because this is about not allowing any transgressions, anyone to transcend those. There's a boundary issue coming up here too. This is about protecting yourself, your time, your energy, and maintaining that. There's a delineation being made here about boundaries. So some of you disconnect other people, and this is about you making sure that in order to receive, in order to tap into the creative gifts that you are calling forth, and that you're also waiting to receive. Because I feel a clutteredness up here. There's a major focus here on solo time and taking care of yourself right now. Some of you are not feeling grounded at all, and that's causing a lot of internal disequilibrium. My Taurus, I hope this reading has helped. Thank you so much for being here. Geminis, we are on to you. We're going to tap into what self-care you can do to help with your creative intelligence, psychic gifts, and intuitive gifts at this time. So I've just shuffled the cards. I am going to just choose a tarot card, an oracle card, actually 3 oracle cards. They're all turned down, and I just flipped them up. And so I'm going really quickly to help these readings move along. Okay. My Geminis, we have the Tower card. Scorpio energy. And so right away here, I get, there could be some type of letting go. There's some type of, okay, it's just time to let things unravel. There's an element here of surrender too, because sometimes with the Tower card, this happens external to us. So this could be something unexpected, or you may receive unexpected news. And it could also connect to something you can't do anything about. But what I'm getting heavily here is something's changing. There's old mindsets, old belief systems, old way of doing things that you may still be trying to do, that you're being called to completely disintegrate, destroy. Now I'm seeing those, crap, what are they called? I don't work in construction. Or when they have TNT at different levels of a building, and then they press a button, and then you see it all collapse one by one. I forgot what that's called, but they're basically destroying the building. So there's something here that you're needing to destroy, a mindset, habit, a self-limiting belief, something you've done on repeat. And I feel like the universe, I heard whiplash, the universe is coming in unexpectedly. I feel like you've been getting signs, so be careful. I feel it's tying into stress, tiredness, overthinking, anxiety. It's like a little bit of being bothered mentally up here. So again, there's something about mental, emotional stress. You're being asked to release this, because some of you are holding on to certain ways of being and certain ways of doing that are not serving you and will not serve you going forward, especially when it comes to receiving the creative guidance and intelligence that you may be asking for at this time. We got 39, which reduces to a 12 and then to a 3. Return to center. Taurus just got this. Holy crap. Chaotic events do not benefit from panicked reactions. The situation may not need a response from you. Stay calm and centered in your heart. You're being asked to respond differently to a certain situation or in general to many things. There's a mindset. I keep getting gear shifting. So different mindsets, beliefs, something you've been doing a lot. It could be a complete perspective, like how you do your job, how you approach people, how you work during the day. There's something that has to be changed here. Some of you are taking on way too much or going at full force that you are exhausting yourself, or you're at the brink of burnout if you haven't already. A lot of internal chaos as well. There's again, strong with the dragon and with the phoenix, and then with the tower card, strong Scorpio energy here of rebirth. Some of you are about to let your old you die, and that is going to bring up completely enhanced, updated version of yourself with new sets of beliefs, mindsets, and ways of doing things. I think this is going to open up more your intuitive energy. I'm getting strong Scorpio energy, but also water energy. Some of you are letting go of, I'll say, toxic masculinity. It has nothing to do with gender or sex. It's just the energy of constantly having to prove or receive external validation. And you may be trying to control or force things because there's an action that I'm getting where you're doing. It's as if you are going up a hill and your car gets a flat tire. Doesn't matter what you do, the car's not moving. You keep pushing and pushing. At the end of the day, you're exhausting yourself more. That's what I'm feeling. So tapping into your feminine energy is going to allow you to receive. It's almost like a break. It's almost like a pause, like a chance for breathing. We have 15, which reduces to a 6. Connect with your womb. Look at this. Again, feminine energy. If you don't have a womb and you're watching this, that's why I'm getting strong feminine energy, regardless of whether or not you have this in your reproductive organ set. But womb, there's a cleansing here. There's some release here and pain. So again, some of you may benefit of stretching your hips, stretching the pelvic area, because that's sacral chakra energy, which is precisely connecting to divine creativity, which is what this reading is all about. How to receive and get in tune and cultivate and nourish your intuitive and psychic gifts with self-care. Feminine energy is key here. Some of you have been ignoring this aspect of who you are, and all of us have that, regardless of gender or sex. This is about learning when to let go, learning when to surrender, getting into the flow, enjoying things as they are, living right now in the moment. There's a certain element of faith too that you give up. This is your spiritual connection as well. This to me also speaks of sexuality. And this is broad. Okay, my Geminis, we also have guidance. And we see tarot cards, so if you're tapping into this, but this to me also speaks of your own guidance too, your own intuitive nudges. So there's a sense of releasing what's no longer working, what's done, what you're ready to exit from, and embracing a whole new way of living. Some of you really need to, it's like as if I were to tell you, you need to just get in nature and just chillax, like chillax, calm down, forget everything that you need to, and go in. And what I'm saying is easier said than done. And I'm going to preface it. I'm saying that metaphorically too, what I just said, because I understand everyone is at different parts of their journey, and you need to make the decision that's best for you at this time. But that's the metaphor I'm getting. It's simply like, you know what? I'm just going to drop what I'm doing right now and literally walk out of the house and plant myself on a piece of grass and just lay down and breathe. That's the shift in energy that I'm feeling here. And that's going to open you up to more of what you may be seeking. Because some of you may be digging through traditional means. Okay, I'm going to Google this. This is what I need to do. I'm going to contact people. You're like pushing to get what you need, your goals done, and it's not coming. You may be feeling frustrated, a sort of apathy, and a sort of maybe resentment building up. That's when you're being called, you know what? Take care of yourself right now. I'm getting a lot of water energy, so maybe a bath, a shower, something that allows you to just relax, a massage as well. or simply laying on the couch or on the floor. Because what's that? They call it corpse pose in yoga. Crap. I forgot the name. It's like at the tip of my tongue. I forgot it. Anyways, you just lay there and it's incredibly relaxing. Usually it's done at the end of many yoga sessions. Or you can just lay down. You don't even have to call it the pose. Just lay down and allow your muscles, your body to just melt down. Like, you know, when your arm is just hanging, it's like that feeling. You're going to receive the guidance as soon as your energy starts going more inwards towards you. My Geminis, I hope this has helped. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome, my Cancers, to your self-care reading. We're going to see what you need to tap into in order to harness your creative intelligence, your psychic and intuitive skills. I am going to draw a tarot card. I've shuffled these cards, but I'm simply drawing quickly so we can expedite this, because if I shuffle, I notice it takes a long time on camera. And we're going to do this quick. Okay. First, some self-care that's going to help you when you find this reading to really connect to your intuition and psychic gifts, and also, more importantly, your creative intelligence. We got Three of Swords. There's a break here. Some of you are being guided to break away from people or even environments that may not support you or uplift you. There's some people around you that I'm sensing where you share your dreams, your goals, your hopes, and you're not getting that response that you want. You may not be getting that support. Like, oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. You know, tell me more. How can I support you? I think that's a really great idea. You'd be perfect for it. Instead, you may be getting pushback from people like, are you sure you can do that? For real? What? You know, people questioning you. And then that could also prompt you to doubt yourself. Be really careful about who you communicate to, because I'm being really pushed right now, as if this was happening to me, and it's not. To let go of like the naysayers, to let go of negative Nancy's, to let go of people that, instead of trying to uplift you, that try to diminish you. These are some people that are envious or jealous because they see you, your light is glowing, you're wanting to advance, you're excited, you're wanting to do things, and you're willing to. That's the thing. So this is a time to clean out in a detox way. Clean out people, situations, places, things, even your own mindset that may be preventing you from embracing what it is you truly want to do. These are your big dreams. You want to own a mountain with 20 pandas? Keep dreaming, right? That's your dream. Don't let anyone stop you. That's the type of energy that I'm getting. Some of you are going to be separating, breaking away from people. And I feel like some people are going to give you, I heard, flack about it. So they may try to guilt trip you. They may try to turn it around on you. I don't know. I sense a lot of agitation, anxiety, and also annoyance from some people about you. So some of these people I don't feel have your best interest at heart, and it has nothing to do with you. It's about them. Many of them are dealing with their own shit and they're projecting onto you. But you don't need that. You're being asked to drop any swords that are trying to be aimed at you. Metaphorically, anyone that essentially is not supporting you, let go. Because that is blocking your own creativity and your own sense of trust in yourself. We have 44. Remember your purpose. You came to Earth to learn how to love yourself and all that is, to achieve self-mastery, to explore conscious co-creation. Heaven resides in your heart. You may be seeing 44. Again, the goal here is to stay focused on what it is that you want to do, what you're feeling called to do, your dreams, your goals, your aspirations. Because there may be people that, consciously or unconsciously, they may be just trying to pull you back, keep you off the path, or in some way try to obstruct that. We have Sing, which reduces to a 9 here, 45. Sing, throat chakra. Some of you, because of the Three of Swords energy, which is about air communication, may need to speak up more. So there's a sense of assertiveness. Some of you may need to call people out on their shit. If they're disrespecting you or if they're violating your boundaries in any way, you need to stand up for yourself. Singing is one way to strengthen the throat chakra. And I feel like, too, tapping into songs two things I'm getting here. Tapping into songs allows that energy to move through you, and that elevates your vibration, especially if it's a feel-good song. Some of you are going to find and be illuminated to what it is you need to know through songs. So pay attention to songs that are repeating songs. You'll know it. Your body knows it. You'll feel it. Because people, some questions I get asked are, how do you know if it's a song that has a message for you? You just know. Don't make a song have a message for you. You will know when a message has a song because you'll feel it and you'll hear it. And that's with an extrasensory way that I'm saying this. And so be attuned and listen to songs. I would say words too, anything people say to you. Sometimes people have passing messages, or you meet a stranger and they pass something along that you needed to hear at that moment. So be open to that, because that's where you're going to get many of these creative downloads. We have here forgiveness. There's a little birdie being set free. Again, this taps into the Three of Swords. It's a reminder too. I feel like if you are releasing people, because Three of Swords can speak to releasing pain, healing, but I got breakups where you are going to be separating yourself from people. It could be romantic, but I also get a lot of just friends, coworkers, that type of energy around you. I feel like that's going to allow energies to be released from you as well. Some of you may have felt guilty for having people around, or you may not have felt good or positive, and you've kept people around because you didn't really know how to release them. You didn't really know how to let that situation or that relationship go. And so it's also too about forgiving yourself, I feel, because some of you may have wondered why you tolerated this, why you allowed people to treat you this way. And it's a learning lesson, and it's okay to cry. It's okay to tell yourself, you know what, we're going to do better. I have your back. Because we see the bird coming out. It's, to me, signifying the release of those emotions and also that energy, and allowing it to be free. There's a cycle. There's like I'm getting a circle of life type of energy with you all. I feel like you're ready to pop out of any restriction you may have felt. Some of you may have been or felt restricted by people around you, and you may not have realized that until recently, and especially by the time you see this reading, and you're cleaning that up. You may be really taking, what is it? Your vibe attracts your tribe. I've heard that. I don't know why it came to me. I don't say it. But you may be really taking a serious note about who's around you and who you hang out with, because that may be, you may be finding out that it's affecting you, and it's affecting what you're doing, because you're being called to go back to your heart space. Connecting to your heart speaks of everything. It doesn't mean just because you break it off or end relationships that there's animosity or hate. You just let people go. It's okay too if you don't want to reunite with those people. The main message is learning to tune into what is right for you and what you feel is right for you, and not having to apologize to anyone for it. That's your decision. It's part of your soul journey and where you're going. My Cancers, I hope this reading has helped. Comment down below. Otherwise, thank you so much for being here. Welcome, my Virgos, to your self-care reading, where we are going to tap into how you can best connect to your creative intelligence and intuitive and psychic skills. I feel like I'm, what is it, having word problems. We're going to grab a tarot card, 3 oracles. And so I'm doing them quickly. I'm picking them. I'm not seeing them though. They're all turned down, and I will turn them up in a sec. But I'm doing this so that we can move through this quickly, because shuffling tends to take a long time, and I reserve that for private readings. Okay. We got the Magician, Mercury ruled Gemini. First card of the deck. I also attribute this to Virgo, as both are ruled, but they're very different ways. And they connect to wisdom, to knowledge in different ways. You got the Magician. And so we're tapping into ways you can take care of yourself and embrace those elements in order to really open up and tap into your creative intelligence, which includes your intuition and psychic gifts. Leos. Did I say Leos in the beginning of this reading? If not, welcome, my Leos. This reading is for Leos. Oh my goodness, I think I said Cancers. I had just finished the reading. I wanted to say you are the magic within you. The magic is already within you. It's about believing it. So a lot of you already have a really strong knowledge base of how to manifest your dreams, of how to turn them into reality, of how to bring your dreams from creativity, from thought into fruition. And so you're being guided to continue trusting in yourself. Continue knowing that all the power resides within you. This isn't a, I'm not going to contact or use other resources at my disposal way. It's not an arrogant way either, and knowing when you need to reach out for help or support. This is knowing that everything exists within you. There's just something about trusting yourself here, because you wield all the power on how you want to create or how you want to continue distorting your reality. So you hold a lot more cards than you realize. So this speaks to control as well. So remember, there's a difference between control and allowing. When you have something in mind that you want to call in, that you want to manifest, that you want to work on, a dream, a goal, a wish, an aspiration, whatever it is, it's okay to delineate it, right? Say you want a goal of owning a red car. I just got that in my mind. You want a red car. And you can take certain steps to get there, right? Visit a dealership or a private owner. Delineate maybe first what kind of red car you want, 2-door, 4-door, etc. And you can take action steps to make that closer. But it doesn't mean you control everything. Like, okay, this red car has to come from this city on this day on this time. There's something here about allowing the universe to do its magic. It's a co-creative energy that I'm feeling here. You have all the magic and gifts too, but also know when it's time to take your hands off the wheel. That is going to allow more of your own intuitive nudges, your knowings, and also your psychic gifts to come in and to open up to you. Release control. We got 44, remember your purpose. Cancer got this. You came to Earth to learn how to love yourself on all that is, to achieve self-mastery, to explore conscious co-creation. Heaven resides in your heart. Beautiful. This connects to the Magician card, and also you all, Leo, as an archetype, rules over the 5th house. But more importantly, it rules the heart chakra. So this is about connecting to your heart. What do you truly want right now? You can ask yourself over the next 6 months, over the next year or next 3 years, how do you envision your life? What would you really love? What is really calling to you? Is that a heart? You see in the camera right there in the back, in that picture frame? What is that? It looks like a pink heart. Oh wait, that's the picture frame. Never mind. Oh my gosh, I think I'm losing it. That's a picture frame. That's the heart in the picture frame. Anyways, okay, there you go. There's another heart back there. I don't know why it called on me. You're really being called to connect to what you truly want, not what you think you should want, not what you think other people want, not what other people want for you, not what you feel people at your age should want. What the hell do you want? Time to get real with yourself. Some of you, I feel, may have drifted, and you may have felt that disconnect from your own spirituality, from the own divine, your own divine and the divine connection, and also your own intuitive and psychic gifts. And we get a lot of our creativity from that. So really, this is the time where you just grab your favorite drink, go to a coffee shop with yourself, by yourself, and you ask yourself, what the hell do I want? What makes me happy? Where do I feel guided to go? What makes me feel alive? Because those are going to give you the puzzle pieces and start opening up that energy for you. I feel like there's a pot of boiling pasta and you're all bubbling, there's like a boiling energy, there's bubbling underneath you. So you may have the pot boiling of water, but you haven't decided on the pasta. So I feel like energetically, you know where you want to go, you just haven't delineated it. Or you may still be entertaining things where they're not really part of that puzzle. You're still saying yes to things that are taking up your time and commitment, but you're like, I don't want this. Time to get real. You guys are, I feel strong manifestation energy, birthing energy. This is about your foundation too. Because whatever it is that you pinpoint and delineate, this is what I want to pursue, I feel like it's going to come pretty quickly. We have 10. Clear your energy field. Got Sage here. So some of you may benefit simply from a general, I'm going to keep it like detox. You can clear your energy field in many different ways, and this really helps, especially if you spend a lot of time around people. You are an empath and you tend to absorb energies, because empaths, we're like sponges. And sometimes that's when a lot of people can confuse other people's energies with their own really easily. You can feel like, why am I feeling this way? And it's so easy because empaths take on other people's moods, especially I'll say in astrology. And this is just a very short tidbit because there's much more to go into. But if you have any moon, Neptune, 12th house, water house energies, 3rd house as well, in certain areas, I'll leave it like that. You may just feel a lot more connected to the collective in many ways and just feel more around you and absorb that. So this is something you may want to do daily. I'll say water is an amazing cleanser. I always recommend a shower or a bath at the end of the day. You can also use smoke like sage or palo santo, or some people use crystals. I have a selenite wand. You can use music. Many of you Leos are very creative folks. You can use different sounds, frequencies, vibrations, music to cleanse your energy as well. And simply set an intention and prayer. But make sure you do this regularly, because I feel like you may be so receptive to others that you're taking on other people's shit. And that can cloud your own energy, that can block your own intuition and psychic gifts, because you essentially are mistaking. You're mistaking other people's energies as your own. We'll use that right word. We have release. Look at this. This is a roe or craven. It looks like a slender pigeon with the colors. But release. And you got here clear. So again, and I mentioned earlier about learning to surrender, release control. So some of you really have to focus on energy management. That's going to attune and strengthen that channel, your psychic channel, your intuitive channel. It's going to allow your creativity to flourish more. I feel like some of you would benefit from a solo retreat. That could simply mean, you know what, I'm saying no to social commitments right now. I am going to focus on taking care of myself, focusing on me, making myself feel good, maybe cleaning up my environment and things that are, have been, left untied, left to wrap up or to resolve. Because that's going to be one way that you strengthen your own energetic field, your auric and etheric field too. Some of you may benefit from other modalities too. It's up to you if you connect to them. There's many energy clearing practices, Reiki, chakra balancing, breath work too helps do this. In general, this is about energy management for my Leos that are watching this. Take care of your energies, pull back from what doesn't feel good anymore, and really take time for yourself, because this is going to open up for you your own creative channel and intelligence, and allow you to start getting insights onto the puzzle pieces you need for your next part of your journey. Thank you, my Leos. I appreciate you. I'll see you soon. Welcome, my Virgos, to your self-care reading. We are going to tap in to see what self-care you can do to connect more to your intuitive and psychic skills at this time, and more importantly, your creative intelligence. Okay, I turned over a tarot card. Now we're going to get an oracle card. Thank you. I've got a few oracle cards and I'm just turning them over. Okay, your first card, we got 10 of coins. Earth energy, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. Ooh, there's something that's speaking about taking greater commitment, perseverance, determination, working on something and committing to it and seeing it through, because there's a focus here on stability and security. Okay, for some of you, there's an overall like blinker, like an alarm coming up about get in tune, get real with your wellness, with your self-care. Some of you may need to make it more practical or update it for the season of your life so that it can be more sustainable. That's the best word. It's not just stability and long term, it's a sustainability that I'm getting. Because this is going to help you so much. Virgo, you are the sign of the healer. And as an earth sign, this speaks to how you integrate wellness, health, routines, and the like, self-care, in a day-to-day way, but also something that you can do with consistency, with habit, and for the long term. Doesn't mean you can't tweak it, but it's something to not just do whenever you feel like it. Because I feel like consistency may be a problem for some Virgos that I'm talking to here. There's a necessary update or cleanup that needs to happen. Because I feel like what I'm getting is your soul really wants something stable and sustainable long term, because that gives it the security it needs. Some of you may want to update some of your spiritual practices, your daily routines, whether it's a morning routine or an evening routine, and different routines you have, work, health, how you take care of others, your social routines, like how you go out, how much time you spend out, etc. Because there's a lot of people here. I feel like some of you may be getting busy. Your social schedule may be increasing. You may be wanting to spend more time with people, or it's just opening up, whether it's personal or professional. So there's also a need to make sure that you take care of yourself. Strong foundation here of getting those things together and on the ground. That's going to really help you start to nourish more of your extrasensory skills. Extrasensory gifts, I should say. Skills too, but we got 15, which reduces to a 6. Love your shadow. We are perfectly imperfect. Accept and love yourself as you are and do the same with others. Focus your efforts on your own mastery. Look at this. This is beautiful. You know, the archetype of Virgo, and this is just a general archetype, generality, I should say, is someone who's very analytical, who can be a perfectionist, can be critical, and some of the shadow aspects are those that I'm talking about right now. You can overthink or analyze things to the point of where you just need to stop. And a lot of times it's an ideal that you're trying to reach, right? Because perfection doesn't exist. And there's a sort of routine and orderliness from a divine aspect that's almost being sought. So I feel like this card is about acknowledging those quote unquote weaknesses that you may feel are weaknesses, or that others may call you out on, or shadows yourself, and realize, you know what? They're actually showing to you more than you realize, and they're a strength. Because one of the fascinating things I find about Virgos is how detailed they can be. You know, say you're walking on the street and everyone's like, yeah, I see that car or the animal. You zero in on that spider web on that blade of grass. And I'm exaggerating a bit here, but what I've noticed is Virgos, there's a methodical way of processing information, of routinizing. And I don't think that's even a word, but you're making things into a routine, making sense of information, knowledge, and wisdom as it comes into your own computer brain. And you're able to look at the minutiae of things and also form ways as to how it relates to other things, which is really neat. So those shadows you may feel are shadows are actually your gifts, and that's where you're learning to master both sides of them. So the perfection that you may feel that you're striving for, you're actually mastering the gift of allowing imperfection. It's interesting how they both work in tandem with one another. It's through that imperfection you find that perfection. Same thing with overanalyzing or criticism. You start realizing and you start accepting, and this is a process that comes. I feel like some of the Virgos I'm connecting to here, you've been really hard on yourself for a lot of things. Maybe things you thought you should have done, things you're like, I shoulda, coulda, woulda, and you're being asked not to. Because in a way, the shadow elements that you have, they help protect you in many ways as a human. And sometimes when there's an overbalance or an inundation of that energy, we start to think, well, am I even good enough to do X, Y, Z? Can I even do this? And Yes, you can, because that's the power that you actually have within you, because you're able to see those sides of the coins that many folks can't. So you can utilize it in a, I call it like a higher octave energy, in a more optimal way, a more enhanced way for yourself. In other words, instead of you being dictated by that perfection or that criticism, take your power back from that. And you can learn to say, you know what, this is actually good enough as it is. It's a work in progress, and things are always improving, evolutionizing, and getting better. There's something about trusting yourself. Some of you, I feel, you pit yourself against yourself. And sometimes it could be about others. So be careful, because sometimes what you see in others, and I don't always believe this, can be a reflection of yourself. So if you are constantly criticizing people, take a look at yourself, because sometimes what you criticize in others can be something that you're criticizing in yourself. And also too, it may be an area where you need to delineate boundaries, because if you're feeling exhausted from some people that are takers, it doesn't mean that you're just taking from yourself, but there's a boundary here about people taking from you. So that's why I say when people reflect that type of thing, it's important to denote, is it a boundary, or are they telling me something that I also need to pay attention to? Okay, we have 31, which reduces to a 4. Look to the stars. For me, there's a bunch of different things that I'm getting. This is about surrendering. Surrendering and releasing control. That's another shadow aspect of Virgo, can be controlling. And it's only because of what you envision, what you see as a result. It's not so much as I'm controlling you because I want power over you. That's not the control that I'm getting. Some of you may benefit from stargazing. It's really fun and interesting. I haven't done this in decades. I used to do it as a kid, but looking at constellations, apps have this, or the old-fashioned way, finding them, you know, looking at your computer or a printout and trying to identify them in the sky, looking at different meteors or astronomical objects of the sort. Some of you may be feeling called to connect to astrology, different forms of divination, looking into your own natal chart as well. Your natal chart may be something that will offer clues, but more importantly, I feel like this overall speaks of surrendering, of letting go. Because when you look to the stars, you get that concept of oneness, but also vastness, of expansion. And the universe is huge. When you look up, you just realize, wow, you're just one part of this small world, and you're part of this small universe. So it makes you realize your humanity, but it also makes you realize, you know what? I'm doing okay. I'm actually doing pretty good. There's a lot of esoteric mysticism that I'm getting with your reading. Finally, we have healing. Interesting, because I mentioned you guys are the healers. Some of you are healing from different wounds, childhood, adult wounds, traumas. It could be from the past as well, relating to some of these shadow aspects. It could be reflected from the people that took care of you, from your family system. A lot of yellow here. I feel like whatever happened that has been blocking your own intuition or psychic gifts, or where you may have recently felt that way, people were trying to take away your power, your seat of power, which is your solar plexus. And so this is about reclaiming that. Many of you are really going to, it's like getting serious when you're like, you know what? This hasn't been working for me. I'm removing this. It's reconfiguring the blocks in your life. I'm saying that like in Lego sets, you're like, I'm taking this piece out and putting this piece in. My Virgos, I hope this reading has helped. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome, my Libras, to your self-care reading. We are going to tap into see how you can better connect and nourish your psychic and intuitive gifts. So we're going to start with some tarot. I'm going to pull a card, and then we're going to pull additional oracles. Okay, let's see what's going on. We got the Strength card, 8, Leo energy. Wow, Libras. I feel like some of you may have hit a bump in the road or may have hit some type of wall with relationships, with people, with life, where you may feel like you're at a verge of just throwing your hands up in the air. There's something where I'm getting like an exhausted feeling, a tiredness, you know what, I'm done with this shit kind of energy. And there's a sense here, you're being called to continue onward. Don't lose faith, don't lose courage, don't lose hope. You have everything you need to continue going forward. Some of you, I'm getting just a sense of, there's a sense of depletion, a sense of tiredness, but it's more on a soul level than it is like, oh, I just ran a marathon, I'm tired. It feels like an inner energetic depletion. Some of you feel wiped out. Some of you are like, I don't even have time to pick up a crayon or a pen. This is about tapping into your inner strength right now, your inner fire, even if it's a little flame. I feel like some of you have been dealing with situations that required a lot of patience, a lot of strength, inner strength. It's almost like you may feel as if the universe is testing your patience. The message is to continue honing in on this. You're stronger than you appear. You're stronger than you appear. It doesn't mean that resources and help isn't coming. We have the next card. This oracle is 23, which reduces to a 5. Use discernment. There is no need to believe something that does not resonate for you. Personal truths can change as perspectives shift and expand. We got fire here. Discernment. I get that general energy that many of you are not putting up with shit anymore. I feel like I've been saying this for months. Even last year, I recall readings about this with Libras. I feel like many of you have reached a threshold where you're just, it's not even paranoia or suspicion. You are just on guard. And when you see a red flag, you're like, no. You know that arcade game, Whack-A-Mole, where you whack? As soon as you see your red flag pop up, I feel like many of you are like, whack, and then you just like walk away. You're not dealing with it. You're not putting in your time, your energy. I just sense a sense of defeat, like you guys have defeated something. You guys have overcome a lot. It could be with people and situations in general. I'm getting people energy here. Many of you have your discernment radar like on par at this moment. We have 2, alone time. Who got this? Someone got this. Aries or Virgo, maybe Taurus, I don't remember. But yeah, this 2 speaks of relationships and also balance, harmony, harmonization. Some of you may have felt like you lost yourself in other people, or people inflicted upon you some type of discord. In other words, drama. Because what I sense here is there's a prudence, a care. Many of you are feeling very guarded with who you're allowing into your bubble. It's almost like you're keeping gate. You're at your own bubble. Imagine if you had a gate around you. You're at the gate with the key and you're just peering. And it's like anyone who approaches, you are doing multiple takes on them. But I feel like alone time is going to help rejuvenate you at this moment, especially with this water energy. Connecting to elemental water is one of the best ways to enhance your creativity in general. Because when you rest, when you tap into that element of relaxation, that's when you start getting a lot of the inflows of intuitive nudges and messages. Some of you may have been putting or expending a lot of energy, especially in time, into diffusing situations, dealing with drama essentially with other people, where it took away from your own ability to harness your creativity in the way that you wanted to. Sometimes we get so exhausted, we're like, I don't have time. You pause on the creative blocks or the creative channels. But the more that I feel that you spend time rejuvenating yourself and taking back your power from other people, perhaps cord cutting may be something that's coming up here, or cleansing, water, or working with working with crystals, and I'm hearing grounding as well. So the sand or the earth, that's going to allow you to rebalance yourself. That's something Libras perpetually are doing. That's what they're here for. There's a lot of things that create imbalance in your life, and it's like a perpetual quest of finding balance. So I feel like many Libras at this time, the best way to take care of yourself, to nurture and to really hone your intuitive and psychic gifts at this time so you can get those creative messages and the creative spark, is to spend time alone and rejuvenate. Finally, we have the cleanse card. Can't kid you. Leo got this, but they got it with this, I think with this card about self-care, and they had a sage stick. If any of you have prominent Leo, you may want to watch the Leo reading. Sage here, again, cleanse, and we have the full moon in the back. We've got salt lamp and crystals. So again, salt, water, the lunar energy, all of that helps you cleanse. And we have a new moon in Scorpio. By the time you see this, it will have just occurred. But with every new beginning is an ending. So some of you are ending anything that causes, I feel like peace, maintaining your own peace right now is important. And anyone who encroaches on that, many of you, you're not allowing it. Some of you are pulling back. I feel like pulling back from social commitments and from sharing your time and energy is going to be one way that's going to help you in this season of your life. Harness your creativity, because I feel like some people are sucking you into drama. Some of you have to cleanse your energy. Similar, a little bit of a similar energy with Leo. My Libras, I hope this reading has helped. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome, my Scorpios, to your self-care reading. We are going to tap into how you can best take care of yourself in order to hone your creative intelligence and intuitive and psychic gifts. I'm going to pull a tarot card followed by 3 oracles. I'm doing this pretty quickly. No shuffling, or I should say, I'm not shuffling here. I shuffled the deck before, so we can move this quickly. Okay. Turn them all over. Okay, we got 6 of Swords, air energy, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. So one of the best ways right now to harness your creative intelligence, your intuitive and psychic gifts at this time, through self-care, boundaries, moving away. There's some things that you may be on you're teetering on, you're undecided about ending, leaving, or wrapping up. And I feel like you're going to be walking away because that's what you're being guided to. You're being guided to move away from anything that is not in alignment with you, with your heart, where you want to go. And you're going to feel it more than anything. Some of you, this is going to come in the form of an ending with someone. You're going to communicate it to them, or vice versa. They're going to tell you. This could be a larger environment too, like a workplace, a community, a place that you share with others. But in general, I sense that there's a moving away. Some of you are going to be moving. Or it could be travel too, because for me, this card also indicates some type of travel. But I feel like some of you feel like where you're at right now, you feel stuck, stagnant. It's not giving you that inspiration that you may have once had. Some of you may be prepping a move or expansion. We get water too, a lot of water coming in for most cards. Some of you are crossing the ocean or want to navigate the water. So cruise, boat, it could be kayak, canoe. But for me, it seems like you're flowing. That's the energy that I'm sensing. It's flowing with things. You're not forcing things. If it doesn't feel good, you're just moving away. That's it. Steering in a different direction. This is really what it's all about, is steering your energy and your time and what you're focusing on, especially when it comes to other people, towards what feels good and in alignment to where you want to go and where you also feel you're going. I also get with 6 of Swords, if you have been like stressing out about something, it's time to figure out what has been stressing you out so you can find a resolution and move on from that, because I feel like the energy that I'm connecting to here has been draining. So it's as if you're trying to make a decision about what color shirt should I wear on Monday for work, and you have been spending like 20 hours just ad nauseum, just spending time figuring it out, when in reality, you know what, I'm just going to make a decision and wear this shirt. Be careful of just having a decision ongoing, because that drains your battery, that drains your energy. I felt the need to say that to some Scorps. We have 42, which reduces to a 6. Practice self-care. This is pretty blatant. Serve others, but don't neglect your own needs. You can't give what you don't have already. Replenish your cup, attend to yourself. Some of you in relationships are overgiving, so the scales have been tipping. If you have prominent Libra placements, you may also want to check out Libra and Leo, or Leo placements, I should say. They got similar energies there, but again, with people, be careful of overgiving. Set strong boundaries here. You got 2 6s here. Some of you may be feeling it. We've got the moon here. Could be the sun too. But because of the posturing and then the mobile and it looks like sleep, I get moon energy. So I feel like some of you are ready to rest and dive into taking greater time to engage in slowness. That's what I'm getting. So more intentionality, really being focused on your priorities and connecting them to your action. So what do you want to do? Not just doing a lot of different things just for the sake of doing them or being around other people. There's something coming into balance here as well. The moment that you align to your values and your priorities, it's going to dictate how you spend your energy. It's almost when you know how much money you have in your bank account, right? You're not going to take out $100 if you only have $5. It's about using your energy in the best way possible. Because I feel like there's a little bit where you may be sometimes there for other people, but they may not support you in that same way. And so it's time to support yourself. Bring it back to yourself. We have 19, which reduces to a 10. Or 1, if you want to reduce it further. Deep breathing. There's an element here of rest, connection to oneself. I feel Scorpios at this time, and I know it's been a heavy season. For some readings that I've done for Scorpios, it's just been a long-ass cycle. Many of you just need a break. You're like, give me 2 weeks off. Let me lock my door and no one come in. Someone deliver food to me. We'll call it a day there. I just feel like this is a time to connect to you. It's like you're coming back to yourself. For some of you, you may have taken a break from really, we'll just say connecting to your spirituality, to yourself, to the divine at large, and even to your self-care. And you're really coming back to what it means to you, what it looks like, and how it can help you in this part of your life. Because I feel like it's very different than when you left. It's different from where you left off before. There's a more, I sense a glow up. So I mean that to say there's a maturity and a growth involved here. Some of you have taken or will be taking your spirituality to the next level, and that's where you're going to be receiving a lot more intuitive nudges. I feel like your sense of perception has increased. So some of you are now connecting to the Akasha dream states. The messages you're receiving are stronger, more attuned. It's as if the dreams you had before were maybe fuzzy, but now they're more pronounced. I feel like your connection, you could call it maybe prophetic or clairvoyance, has become stronger, is becoming stronger. But it has to do with rest. So that's something that's coming through strongly for you. Many of you are going to connect sharply, distinctly to these gifts with rest. Finally, we have wisdom. We've got 2 owls here, and we have, you could say it's a sage. Some people call it crone, but I like sage. I feel like crone has a negative connotation to many. Again, this is what I sense. There's a level of like glow up, maturity with you guys that has occurred. I feel like why you're being called to take care of yourself and rest is not just to connect to your divine nature, but because you're going to be sharing it with others. Many of you that are connected here are teachers also. Teachers, guides, healers, whatever you want to call it. You're going to be showing others the way as well. And I'm saying that broadly. My Scorpios, I hope this reading has helped. Thank you so much for being here. My Sagittarius, welcome to your self-care reading. We are going to see what you can do to take care of yourself so you can harness, cultivate, and nourish more of your creative intelligence and intuitive and psychic skills. We're going to pull tarot and some oracle. I'm just plucking these. They've been shuffled. They're turned around, like face down, so I can't see them. And then I flip them. Okay, my Sages, we got Two of Swords. So the best way right now to really nurture your creative intelligence and your psychic and intuitive gifts, in other words, to open and to facilitate this flow. Two of Swords, boundaries. Some of you really need to, I heard strengthen and I heard strictness. So you really need to elevate your boundaries. I'm getting cutout energy. I got this with another sign. Because right now I feel like there's also an imbalance, similar to Libra and Leo energy, even elements of Scorpio. So if you have major placements there, you may want to check those out. But in general, I'm getting a sense of an imbalance. And for you, it's mostly external, but it's causing obviously internal imbalance too. So there's something here about mediating a boundary, putting a boundary down. It's like saying a hard no and walking away and not even explaining anymore to people. That's what I'm feeling. Some of you have just, I'm getting like spreading yourself thin energy, and there's a tiredness here because of other external things that are happening around you. You have a lot more strength and power than you realize, but it's being consumed and usurped and used by what's going on outside of you. It could be like family, friend drama, work drama, just shit, like petty crap that happens and people pull you in, or things that are just causing unnecessary disruption. It's just, there's a word for it. It doesn't add to you, in other words. There's a really strong tone here of seriousness. And because I feel like those of you that are connecting know what it is that you need to do and who or what you need to cut out. This is not blurry or indecisive. This is binary. This is yes, no. You know exactly what you need to cut out or what you need to do, because this is going to help you in the long run. Some of you just need to cut out people that use you. I'm getting some energies here that drain you, use you. They're like sucking you out like mosquitoes. It could be work or professional life, or your personal. So again, something's going to, if you haven't, I feel like many of you know, vast majority of you know this. If not, you're going to be illuminated to this very soon. Your next card, you got a lot of illumination here. We got 43, which is reduces to a 7. Love all. Your compassion is incomplete until it includes yourself. Release self-judgment, self-punishment, self-loathing, and self-sabotage. The reflection of your love begins with you. Interesting, the posturing is similar. Again here, some of you are selfless, not selfish. You're selfless. You give so much of yourself to others. And I feel like it takes so much away from you. You know, when you have some type of rag or cloth, many people keep them by the sink, and when it's soaked with water, most people twist it in order to release the water. I feel like I'm saying that because I feel like yours doesn't have any more water. It's dried, it's crisp. So to me, it's an indicator that many of you have been giving away way too much of yourself to others in the form of time, energy, whatever it is. It could be to the people that you serve, to your friends, family. You're giving a lot of yourself, and you're pouring in so much instead of pouring into you first. This is the airplane metaphor that I see now because I saw the oxygen mask. It's like helping everyone on the airplane, not just the person next to you. It's like helping everyone on the airplane get their oxygen mask. You're like, oh, let me go through all 200 seats on the plane, and then you put yours on. By the time they get to you, you're done. There's nothing left for you. There's no oxygen. I ran out. Strong message here. You guys have to really think about what the hell is draining you, what you really want to say no to, and you just say no and walk away. Or don't respond. There's something here coming where you need to take back your energy to you. You're pouring, many of you have been pouring from empty cups for a while, and it's not sustainable. It's okay to love people and to demonstrate that, but you're not responsible for them. Something to note. We got 10, clear your energy field. Leo got this, and Libra got something similar with the smaller oracle. I feel like many, I was going to say, I wanted to say many people, but I heard suckers. I feel like many people are like vampire energy-ish attached to you. Like they could consciously or unconsciously be sucking energy from you, right? That friend who always calls with some type of problem, draining your energy. That one boss who always calls with some type of issue that calls you at all hours of the day, vampire energy or energy vampire. So again, some of you have been, there's a lot of energy around you, a lot of stuff. It's like, you know, in the universe, the satellites, when the garbage comes on in outer space, what's it called? The garbage orbits around it. That's what I'm feeling right now. Some of you need to detach and perhaps take some time for yourself. Like take a week off and see how you feel, because you're going to know really quickly when you do like a reset and you start getting people, maybe the same people come back into your orb. You'll identify really quickly how they made you feel and if you want them to stay or in your orb or if you want to stay connected. Some of you simply need to get over being nice. I don't know if I've ever gotten this reading. Some of you are just way too nice, but that's a form of people pleasing. So you have some issues to work there about people pleasing. And it could have to do with your own trauma that's coming up around family, early life, even adult life. So think about that, because this is all about you and how you can use your own energy, your creative life force to do what you want to do in this lifetime, but also what you're here to help others. And you can't help others if you're continuously being depleted. Finally, we have surrender. We got the whales. I'm getting total peace here. Some of you need to just shut the door and let go and not answer your phone. That type of vibe. That's what's going to connect you and open you up to your own gifts. You're giving your gifts away because you're doing it through the time and energy that you invest in others. For any Sagittarius that are listening to this and that this resonates, this is time. This is like a me time glow up era where, you know, those sayings where people go work in silence for 2 months, 6 months or whatever, your time has come. Which is interesting because we got the whale cards, which they work in communities, but I feel like you're being guided to work with people that uplift you. So this may be something that could help you. Take a paper, draw a line in the middle, energy drainers, energy givers, and start identifying throughout the week what really amplifies your energy, what makes you light up. People that thank you, people that appreciate you, people that really love what you do and that help them, right? Instead of people that constantly complain to you, right? You're going to start seeing patterns and what and who you need to let go, or at least put a stricter boundary on, because harmonization is needed here. Some of you simply, not in the surrender way that we know it, you just need to let go of trying to do so much and trying to be so much for everyone in your life. I felt such a serious vibe there. My Sagittarius, I hope this reading has helped. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome, my Capricorns, to your self-care reading. We are going to tap in to see how you can nourish your own creative intelligence and intuitive and psychic gifts during this time. Going to pull 3 oracle cards and 1 tarot card to see your messages. And I'm doing this quickly, no shuffling. Okay, we have the Fool card. My caps. Got Aries energy. It's time to start. Some of you have been in the planning mode, have been thinking, I think overthinking, or have been focused way too much on the background or the preliminary stages and not taking action. You're being guided very soon to start taking action in a very practical way. You have all the steps, planning, resources that you need right now at this time. And as you continue the journey, you're going to continue getting more things will be revealed to you, but you have everything you need right now to simply start. This is I'm getting that quote, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step, a single step. Is that Lao Tzu? I'm hearing it in a very distinct voice. Anyways, start. It's interesting because I feel like the Capricorns I'm connecting to, you're receiving these intuitive nudges. You're sensing and you're getting what it is that you're needing to do, but you're collecting it instead of doing anything about it. So it's like you collect your ideas in a book, but you never really take action. So you may see a pattern like, ooh, I'm getting poetry here, songs, cafes. Maybe I should participate in a poetry, what are they called? Stand-ups, or share my poetry, for example, instead of just keeping it in your journal. So here, there's a need to take action. Strong need to actually materialize all that documentation, planning, and everything that you already know into action, because that's going to allow the momentum to start moving. If you felt like things aren't shifting or moving, I feel like it's because you've contained that, you've kept it stuck somewhere, whether it's up here in your mind or on paper, it hasn't materialized. Or you may have, sometimes, especially with this energy, with this Aries energy, you may have taken a step forward and you put something out, but you didn't get the bite back that you want. In other words, the response may not have been what you expected. You're being guided to keep going. The Fool card is the first card of the tarot deck, and this person is happily skipping along. We have here the mermaid, and I immediately always think of the Little Mermaid. You know how she was inquisitive, adventurous, very young, immature energy, because she was still growing. I think in the movie she was a teenager, wasn't she? I don't really recall her age or if it was dictated, but she was just so curious, had her own collection. Remember in the grotto where she collected everything she found after shipwrecks? That's the energy you're being guided to have, because that's going to open you up and get you more possessed, more feeling more vibrant and connected. Don't let, when you put out your foot and you don't get the response that you want, don't let that affect you. Keep going. It's when you start anything new, because this is, again, the beginning of a new journey. Some of you may be starting new endeavors, new writings, right? You may be getting into writing, new blogs. You could be a blogger, do videography, like YouTube, right? I heard the speaking one, podcast. There's a lot of writing here. You may be getting started as an artist. There's something here that you are starting, whether it's your own personal or professional goals. I sense a mixture of both here. But when you start training for a marathon, you don't begin with a marathon. You start by walking, especially if you don't even run. You start by walking, so your training usually extends a little bit further. Otherwise, you risk injury. So remember, along the way, you may not expect to see the results that you want. I feel strongly saying this because some of you are putting yourself out there in very visible ways, which is very Aries-like, but you're not getting the response or the feedback that you thought. Again, if you're posting on social media, you just opened up an account, or you're a YouTuber or podcaster and no one is paying attention, keep going. I wish I could tell you it's not common, it's common. And you're thinking, I'm putting in all this work, it will pick up, keep going. Aries is very, if there's anything they do, they will stay, they initiate, and many, if they're connected to what it is that they believe they're doing, will stay committed for the long haul. They'll revise and they'll keep going. Use that Mars energy. We got 21, which reduces to a 3. Embrace sensitivity. Appreciating beauty requires sensitivity, a vulnerable feeling. Yet the world needs more sensitivity, not less. Embrace it. Do not deny your emotional needs. Got butterflies here. I'm feeling this because it kept coming up. Some of you are not seeing what you want. Your expectations are not in line with what is coming up and what you may be starting or wanting to start. And that's okay. And I think it's tapping into emotions too, which sometimes, and this is a general archetype that I'm saying for Capricorn, it may be something you may not want to really worry about because you're like, nope, I have no time to worry about my emotions right now. I want to focus on the here and now, the nitty gritty, and the plans. And I'm here to execute and work on this. But they're also telling you something that it's actually quite normal to feel that way. There's a lot of emotions when you put yourself out there. It sucks when you spend 10 plus hours on a video, and I say this from experience, when you spend 10 plus hours on a video and you edit it and you put it out there and you take like 30 more hours to upload the stupid thing because technology, because of the energies right now, and you don't get a view. It's disheartening. That's why it's really important not to focus on the end result, but to focus on the process and your why of why you're doing what you're doing. your gift of sensitivity is just that. It's a gift here. You're being called to embrace that side of yourself. Some of you are also realizing and coming perhaps into terms with the vulnerable aspect of who you are, your human nature, which is full of emotions. And I feel like whatever it is you're starting and you're getting messages about, because again, like I said in the beginning, I feel many of you have already been opened and have gotten this, through your psychic and intuitive channels. You're working with a lot of ups and downs. It's not linear. Just because you have an amazing plan doesn't mean the process is always going to be straight up amazing. It's ups and downs, and it's about navigating those seas. So there's a lot of beauty coming from this, and I feel like you're going to embrace and experience a lot of emotional transformation within yourself. This process that you're about to start is really going to show a softer feminine energy, not gender or sex, side of you that people may not have seen. So there's a vulnerability aspect that's coming out here where people are seeing you just as a human, and I feel like that's going to resonate with a lot. So stay the course. Don't give up. Focus on why you're doing what you're doing. We have 53, which reduces to an 8. Use your hands. I'm getting handicrafts, creation energy here. Some of you are artists. You're creating your own products, maybe Etsy shops, creating digital products. Again, like I mentioned earlier, platforms, YouTube, broadcasters, creation energy here. So this is coming from you. So I feel like many of you have been receiving this for a long time. It's almost like you stockpile it. You may have an amount or a certain assortment of goods ready to sell. You put them up. You may have blog posts ready, podcasts ready, videos ready, whatever it is. And you put them out there. And it's almost like, well, why isn't anyone coming? Your reading took a little bit of a different turn. Just keep with the process. You're beginning, you will see traction. This is about consistency. This is about really leaning into everything that you're feeling and acknowledging it and not pushing it away. Because I feel like if you don't embrace emotions that come up and what you're feeling, it can make you resentful down the long run, and it can make you lose sight of why you're doing what you're doing. I've seen this with many creative folks, many creative sensitives, as I call them, especially that do art, music, dance, whatever it is. If you're not doing it for the pure enjoyment or pleasure of the journey itself, and you're just focused on the goal, like when I perform, when I do this, when I get 100,000 people on my blog or whatever, you lose sight of why you even started. So the creation process, I feel, for many Capricorns that I'm connecting here with, is the main important part. That's what brings you alive and why you're doing what you're doing, to share your passions and creations with others, which is important. I also get here something about abundance. Whatever you're doing now is going to be a source of abundance for you, whatever that means. It could be in wealth, in the way of happiness or joy. So stick with it. Finally, we have truth. We got butterflies here. Look, some of you are seeing butterflies. You see in this card, and then here, this process that you are starting is going to ultimately transform you completely. I feel like it's going to really enhance your confidence, allow you to become more secure in yourself. Many of you are working on your emotional, we'll call it quotient growth. You're maturing and growing in your emotions. Truth. Many of you are being guided at this time. Your reading is very different because it's, like I mentioned earlier, you're receiving these messages now about taking that action. I feel like you're all, let me say that again. I feel like the Capricorns I'm connecting to, because I can't generalize for all Capricorns, that those that are watching, you're really connecting to what feels good to your soul right now. There's a change here. Some of you are leaving jobs. Some of you are leaving what you used to do for work, and you're going all in on what it is that you want to do. What's pulling you, your passion. My Capricorns, I hope this reading has helped. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome my Aquariuses to your reading. We are going to take a look at self-care and see how you can nurture, hone, and cultivate your own creative intelligence, your intuitive and psychic gifts at this time. So I'm taking some cards here, and I'm pulling to see what is going on for you and how you can utilize this time to nurture this. 10 of Cups, beautiful. I think 1 or 2 other signs got this. Wow, to me, this is about really connecting to what it is that you love and what feels good, and to the people too. This is what's going to help. Surrounding yourself with what makes you feel good. So this is nothing to do with logic or analyzing or intellectual abilities. This is feeling. So some of you are going to have to, hone that muscle and ask yourself, does this feel good for everything that you encounter? And if it doesn't, you're being guided to move away from that. Because when you feel good, I feel like that opens up the energy channel for you to receive your intuitive and psychic nudges, but also that creative energy that you want. You're going to get a lot of divine inspirations and downloads. There's a sense of contentment, harmony, and happiness here, balance as well. So this speaks to me too of taking care of anything in your environment that you're like, you know what, I got to clean this up. You know, I don't think I really want to stay connected to this person, or I think I want to create better boundaries with work. It's tightening those loose screws up in your life. All metaphorically that I say. I'm not referring loose screws as someone that may be experiencing problems. I'm meaning things that are left undone. It's when you connect to joy. I'm getting Marie Kondo's What Sparks My Joy. You don't need to, let me rephrase that. Don't do anything that doesn't feel good. I feel like, hold on, I'm saying this in a different way. Don't do things just because they look intellectually good or they look good on the outside. Do things because they feel good on the inside for you, even if you can't see it or it's not shown or other people can't see it. Okay, I got that out. This is all about your emotions, emotional space. We got 1. Remember your spark. You are here for a divine purpose. You are here for a divine purpose. I feel like I missed a word. Remember it or redefine it for, whoa, hold on guys, I feel like I'm tongue-tied. You are here for a divine purpose. Remember it or redefine your purpose for yourself. Look at this. Remember your spark. I feel like once you start clearing away what doesn't spark you, what doesn't light you up. Didn't I just say What Sparks Your Joy by Marie Kondo, and you get this? When you start clearing away what doesn't make you feel good and start surrounding yourself and doing things that do, that's when you're going to open that channel. It's like the burner goes on and gets stronger and the burgers start cooking. Your messages are going to flow in and you're going to feel a strengthening, a connection, and a passion, like a zest. You got 3, aromatherapy. This is another way your senses, your faculties, your oral faculties, nose faculties, I think I said that wrong. Anyways, you know what I mean. I would look at the different senses that you embody and that are important to you, right? If smell is important, that could be something that could help you during this time. Changing up the smell in your environment. Maybe you want a beachy smell. You can get some fresh plants or a candle or aromatherapy with flower essences or oils or a diffuser. I'm getting here too, the clearing of the mind. There's mind clutter. So there's an element here that's tied to stress as well. Some of you are focused very heavily because all of a sudden I feel like my mind just got heavy. There's a lot going up here that's a little bit stressful, where you may just have a running to-do list or things happening that are going like wheels. And it's like your body is asking you, hey, what about us? Pay attention to the body. We're sending you messages and divine guidances, and you're just thinking and working up here. So there's a relaxation element coming through here. So some of you need to take a deep breath. I got ocean, so some of you may live by the ocean or may want to go sit by a body of water, ocean, or simply take a bath or put your feet in something. because I feel like that's going to help you relax. Some of you are being called to find something that helps relax you and engage in that as frequently as you can, because everything down here has to calm down. It's like a fizzle. You know when you put oil in a pan and it fizzles? That's what I'm getting up here. We got to turn the heat down. We got to relax. And when we relax, then we can start connecting more to our body and feeling what we're feeling, because you're getting a lot of emotional connection here. And it's hard to feel that when you have a lot going up here. And that could be blocking a lot of your creative and also psychic and intuitive downloads. Finally, we have forgiveness. Some of you may be thinking about someone or some situation over and over on cycle. I feel so exhausted up here. It's up here, like I've been thinking about something for a long time. There's a release. You know, when you just think about a situation over and over, it just exhausts you. It drains you. It takes your energy because it's leaking your energy because you're focusing on that. Some of you need to set yourself free. Like, unload that burden, unload whatever it is you're thinking onto someone, like a professional healthcare person, like a doctor, a mental health care person, therapist, whoever you can talk to, or someone that can hold space for you to talk to you, where you can vent, or a journal where you can get all of that out and just write it out and unburden it. There's something about setting something free. So this could be a form of forgiveness for yourself and also what's been happening, because that's going to release energy for yourself. My Aquarius says, thank you so much for being here. I hope this reading has helped. Hi, my Pisces. This is Christine. Welcome, my Pisces, to your self-care reading. We are going to tap in to see what you can do to nourish your creative intelligence and psychic and intuitive gifts at this time. So I'm going to pick a tarot card and 3 oracle cards to get your message, what you need to know right now. Okay, my Pisces. Oh, we got 10 of Swords. Let go. Some of you have to let go of anything that's causing you stress, drama. It could be, for some of you, repeated pain. It doesn't have to be physical, but just emotional infliction. There's, I feel like, things that have been reoccurring where you may need to put an end to it. And it could be affecting not just the way you take care of yourself, but your own creative channel and how you receive your intuitive and psychic gifts. There's a lot of folks have had this. A lot of signs have picked up a lot of mental anguish, anxiety, overthinking. It's like when your brain goes on repeat and it gets stuck and it keeps going in a loop. Perhaps there's rumination coming where you're replaying a scene from something that happened over and over. And it's causing just heaviness. It's burdening you up here. So there's stress up here too. And it's taking away from your emotions, your emotional capacity, but also your energy. You may just be feeling fatigued as well, because I'm getting an overall tiredness. It's like your brain ran a marathon, but your entire body is tired. And so you're being guided to end this, to drop it, to release it, to stop. Press the stop button. There's something you need to switch out of. Like, you may need to just get up from whatever you're doing and just take a walk. Call a friend or do something to change this loop, because there's something looping around over and over. We have 15, love your shadow. We are perfectly imperfect. Accept and love yourself as you are and do the same with others. Focus your efforts on your own mastery. There's also fears here that are coming up. I feel like there may have been some conflict with friends or family. And this is all relationships, but I'm getting those in particular. But it's also letting you know things about yourself, because I sense rumination and loops. So these are repeating patterns that are happening, like repeated conflicts or same things that are continuously erupting, or mindsets on your end that are repeating, or limitations that haven't changed. So there's something here that's being reflected to you. that these situations or this situation has shown you, in particular about yourself and your own shadow. And this is not a code word for this is your fault, this is your blame, you need to look at what. No. But take stock of what's been happening, what's been on repeat, what's been causing you stress, what's been bugging you, especially with people. You're going to see a common theme or thread. Maybe people are constantly unloading to you, or there's unnecessary fights about the same shit, and maybe it's responding differently. Maybe it's offering a different solution. Maybe it's putting up boundaries. Maybe it's finally saying no to these types of people that are always coming to you. Something here that's coming up here that's being shown to you, because I feel like what you see in others, you're also seeing in yourself. And the message here is it's not about hating yourself or judging yourself. It's simply letting you know some people are teachers in your life that are going to show you it in this way. So if you're feeling constantly, again, stressed out, embroiled, you're like, why is my life full of drama? Take a look at what's around you. Are you allowing people in your life that are full of drama, allowing people to call you all the time with their shit and to unload on you? That may simply mean not answering, letting people know, I'm sorry, I'm not available after 5. You got out of work at 5, so there's no cushion there for anyone to call you. Or it may simply mean letting people know, I'm sorry, I can't hold space for you. I need to take care of myself, but I hope everything goes well. And you can check in on them if you want, or you can end it, but pay attention. There's something repeating over and over where what you're doing has not been working, or what someone else in this situation has been doing that's not working. Because I feel like a different recourse, a different solution is needed, because this is taking up a shitload of your time. So if you're hoping to get or connect to what it is that you want, especially when it comes to your creative nuggets, your downloads, this is causing an obstruction. This is like a GPS where you see the red lines or the cones. There's an accident here, a blockage. So just pay attention. It's simply information for you. We got 50, sweet treat. Interesting because the energies here are dual, like yin and yang. And you can say bad or good, yucky, sweet. And it just is as that. So I feel like some of the Pisces, you may be dealing with things, and it doesn't have to be violent. It could just simply mean stress. It can mean putting up with small stuff that's crappy. But you're also feeling the energy of, wait, I want to experience some good things in life, some sweet things, not just in baking, but also joyful things, things that feel good. So to me, this energy too is about engaging into the sweet side of life. You know, people use sugar as a metaphor for many things. What sweetens your life up? Is it biking, walking your dog, volunteering? Is it baking? Some of you may want to take time to really take pleasure in what you do in your everyday life, right? I've seen it called, people say like romanticizing your life, but it's learning to find joy and happiness in everything that you do and not just waiting for it. It's like when people save their best clothing or their best silverware or plates or cups or whatever it is for the day. And we're thinking, what day? Like one day every 10 years, or one day when you host a particular gathering, or use that shit. You didn't spend all that money or receive that gift for nothing. That's the energy I'm feeling here. Start utilizing the things that make you feel good, what bring you happiness and joy. Get the chocolate out, cook that cake. You got no one else to feed it with? Donate the slices, give them to your friends, or freeze them. It's about finding, even if there's still some stress or some chaos that is processing out in your life, you can still find pockets of joy. When you do that, you're shifting that energy, and that's what allows that creative flow as well as your other gifts to channel through. We got trust. Aquarius got this, and I read it as truth. It says trust. Shit. Well, I gave the message that I thought. Anyways, you got trust here. And there's butterflies, which to me, there's a metamorphosis coming. There's a change coming. So for any of my Pisces that feel like you've been stuck in the same shit, or you're just encountering difficulty after difficulty, especially with people or situations, know that this is transforming, because you are transforming. There's a heightened awareness coming through. This transformation is coming when you're learning to balance the duality of life. Because sometimes There can be shitty things happening like we see right now in the world happening. And there's different strata, and you can exist and coexist with all of this. Perhaps that's the complexity of human life and human nature here on Earth. Not everything is always hunky-dory and rainbows and sunshines and butterflies, literally, all the time. When we have beautiful moments, there's also a lot of suffering in the world, and vice versa. And so I feel like there's a metamorphosis, a transformation happening with how you can coexist with all of this in your life and still find meaning. And also, more importantly, still connect to your own creative elements that are coming through, your own psychic and intuitive nudges. And this is all your own energy. My Pisces, I hope this reading has helped. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you soon. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your day to connect to these messages on self-care and what you can do at this time, what you can be aware of and what you should be aware of, so that you can harness more of your creative intelligence and your intuitive and psychic skills, because for many, they're there. And sometimes our energy is misappropriated, misdirected, whatever reason, it's not where we want it to be. And it's simply about making some practical shifts in our day-to-day life and also in our spiritual life. I'm wishing you a beautiful week ahead whenever you see this, and I hope this has helped. And if it has, I would so appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button, hit the little bell if you'd like to be notified of when my videos come out, and of course leave me a message. I love interacting with you guys, even if it's just a heart, it doesn't matter. Thank you again, and I'll see you soon.